What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 279. I'm here with Griffith.
I'm here with Trigger to Trav.
And we're waiting in line at the Guns N' Roses concert with Adam.
What do we watch this week?
Thor.
Soar.
I'm a little Thor
Yeah.
after watching it.
It's something, you know?
I mean, what was he fighting for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love, Trav, and thunder. So,
At the end, when they hop up and it's like, they were known as Thor, Love, and Thunder. I was like that black dude that's like, ah! You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. So, I've got some issues with this movie.
So do I.
All right, what have you got, Trav? Because I'm interested to see if we're rifting here.
Well, for as much as I enjoyed Christian Bale's gore, I felt like the plot that he had, the means by which he furthered that plot, was absolutely wasted. I think the whole concept of taking the children and that being the high stakes moment of the movie, just it falls flat for a movie that's already set up how ridiculous and how much grandeur is going on in the film.
Yes.
I thought too much GNR. I mean, there were moments where it worked. There were moments where it was very much like the Welcome to the Jungle power up scene at the beginning. I mean, dude, I mean, if you, that was a tone setter, man. And you're like, all right, we're about to have a good time, dude. Thor's going to wreck some shit. It's going to be funny. And even that fight was so over the top. Like he just knees that tank and it rolls 100 feet.
Dude, he did a roundhouse kick on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he jumps up and does the splits,
yeah,
he's all 80s
like
action, you know, holding them apart.
Yeah.
Tweeters.
Yeah. And I like the November Rain solo at the end. That worked pretty well, in my opinion. Yeah.
Same.
But like every time that they swap scenes, they have to start a GNR song. It's like, dude, they should have went full 80s with it and just like hair metal it up. Kind of like what the theme that they were going for, but pull some Rad in there, pull some Motley Crue. Like it can't be that expensive.
Yeah, a little more
Peacemaker. Because like the aesthetics of Ragnarok and Love and Thunder, like these are all like, I mean, look at the poster we're using for the episode tonight. I could see in a roundabout way how that could be spray painted on some fucking dude's van.
Yeah, on the side of a van, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you know, it would have been cool if like there was an instance where, you know, maybe we heard some rock, just a change up in the playlist.
Yeah. It'd be nice to recut certain scenes and use some different songs in it. Like Tom Sawyer would have been a great addition. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, hearing that opening,
yeah,
that would have been a cool little song playing in the background while Korg is narrating, like, "Hey, gather around, and I'll tell you about the space Viking."
Yeah. So here are these are the issues that was that the only thing that you had, Trav? What you got anything else?
I mean, I felt like I felt like Christian Bale's portrayal of Gore was a little weird too. Like
You mean how it tonally shift constantly?
yeah, like there was no great reward for you.
Yeah.
And you know, there were moments where I'm like, man, there's a really fucking badass performance somewhere in this. And it still is, it's still great. But the flip-flopping between him being the serious villain that he is from the comic and this weird Taika Waititi, I'm gonna be funny in completely inappropriate times type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I know the goats are a love it or hate it part of the film, but I laughed, man. It was a cheap laugh, and it fucking worked on me, man. I thought the funniest part is when they're going through space on the Bifrost, and you see that planet, and it
Oh,
just
when
goes
they hit
straight
it,
Rick and Morty. They hit it instead of
they
like going into
scream.
the yeah. It's just you hear,
That was
and
funny.
yeah. I mean, I didn't have a problem with that. I thought like if you can't get past how ridiculous that opening fight scene is, then the
Yeah.
movie's not gonna hold up for you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the problems that I had. The number one most glaring problem, in my opinion, was the way that they handled Jane. Okay. And I'll go ahead and say this before I go any further. I like Mighty Thor. I like what they did with I like that. But here was my fundamental problem. Why is her being Thor stopping the medication from her cancer spreading? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, here's the way that I see it, and here to me, and I understand, like, if she was wanting to do this and be done with, Marvel and Thor and all that, that's fine. But the way that they should have done it was when she is Lady Thor, then she's fine, perfectly healthy, like, nothing wrong with her whatsoever. When she comes out of it, that time between when she was regular Jane and regular Jane again, it should cause the cancer to spread that much more quickly. So, like, she has to stay in Thor mode in order to
Yeah.
not die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so weird to me where it was like, "You can't be a Thor anymore because it's killing you," and it's like but she went there because she believed enough in what was happening that if she became a Thor, then it would save her life, and it
Now,
killed her.
I agree that there is an inconsistency there, but you could also look at it very much as a byproduct of her just even remotely being capable of wielding that power, which something that never gets brought up is the fact that Thor blessed the hammer. He was
Yeah,
drunk as shit when he did it, but he blessed the hammer, and
Yeah,
that's why it even
she could do it.
happens.
Yeah,
yeah,
But you know, it's been established all throughout, and absolutely because it's the ending of Endgame that mortals can't handle pure power going through them. It just
yeah,
don't work. It fucks them up. And so that could have been elaborated on more, I guess.
yeah,
That although Mjolnir and Stormbreaker are weapons for good, they're still weapons. Out of Thor's hand, they're almost just like just radiation or like a bomb. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna fuck you up.
right.
Um, my issue with Lady Thor, and I don't know if I want to call it an issue, is I okay. So in the comic books, and I hate to always do this shit, but in the comic books, one of the things that you use to introduce Lady Thor is the mystery element.
Yeah,
When it first happens and she shows up, the audience as well as Thor, or the reader and the audience, are not aware who this is. And it becomes a bit of a revelation that it's Jane,
yeah,
as opposed to we knew that going in from they put it in the trailer.
yeah,
There was no, you know, there wasn't an
yeah. No
act,
build
you
up to
know,
that.
yeah, there wasn't. And I see that they chopped that off to enhance the cancer drama,
yeah,
but I think that if they had just kind of pivoted just a little bit to include that mystery at first and completely have left and completely let the concept of Jane being Thor out of the promotion and marketing. I
yeah,
mean, comic fans are obviously going to know what's going to happen,
yeah,
but instead of just giving us that bit of information from the get-go, I think it hurt it more, including her as a part of, the Thor mythos now.
right, yeah, absolutely. See, and to me, it would have left it to where, like, if she would have, if they would have kind of tweaked that a little bit, or gave better explanation, but for my context here, if they would have tweaked that a little bit, where she didn't die, but there's always that, because whenever they went through the Bifrost and when when Gore got the hammer, got
Mhm.
Stormbreaker, she came out of the Bifrost as Jane. She didn't come out of it as Thor
Yeah,
Jane. She came out of it. So that could always be that thing that's like, well, what is gonna hit her hard enough to knock her out of becoming a Thor? And the next time that she gets knocked out of being Thor, she's just gonna die. Like, cancer is gonna spread so aggressively because it's been so long that she's just gonna instantly drop dead. And you could have that, that drama there. And if
Mhm.
you didn't wanna build, because, like, her death was for nothing. To chalk it up at the end of the day, her death was for nothing. If you wanna chalk it up to, like, well, Gore saw that, Thor didn't wanna
Was
fuck with him.
good. He was a good
Yeah, and
god. He
yeah,
chose
and then
love over,
yeah, exactly. You could chalk it up to that, but at the end of the day, like, if all the gods die, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, the stakes that they were trying to go for made sense, but that gets into my other point that I have a problem with, but there was
Yeah,
not.
that's and that and I guess I guess I'm just gonna snowball us into that. That's also the biggest thing that this movie had as an issue. The stakes never felt raised unless it was scenes with with Lady Thor, and it was so little bit, just enough to have some sort of like grounding, I guess.
Yeah,
Because that's one thing that they showed you at the beginning is that when Thor takes care of himself and gives a shit, he's fucking OP as fuck. He doesn't need the Guardians, doesn't need the fucking Avengers. He's already harnessed all of like his actual god powers in the previous film. So he's literally just like they say in the film, he just sits around and he waits for people to be like, "Hey, we need to go stop this." And he's like, "All right, let's go fucking do it."
yeah.
Also, the whole thing where he blessed all the weapons for the little kids for
I
limited time
mean,
only. So he can just do that in any
okay,
battle,
so
right? I
and
mean,
my thing is like, okay, if you wanna chalk that up to, like, he didn't have that power until he got Stormbreaker, fair enough, okay. He could have blessed the entire fucking Wakandan
that's what I'm
army.
saying.
That like,
Yeah,
what the fuck,
Those
man? Like,
kids
we're
were
just
OP. That
yeah,
was
they
funny.
were it was, but goddamn, dude, like, what?
The one with the
Like
teddy bear going around
yeah,
in
yeah,
circles,
yeah.
like
I
goddamn.
like the shadow creature things that they were fighting, like, that was really cool. There's a lot that I like, and there's a lot that I dislike, and one thing, like, the Jane thing kinda bothers me the most. The next thing is, like, Gore is going around and killing gods that you don't give a fuck about whatsoever, and they go to, what's that city that fucking Zeus is orgying
I
at?
don't remember the name of it.
Omnipotent
There you
City.
go.
Yeah. Alright, so Omnipotent City, okay. So, the thing is like, how do you raise the stakes? Like, people like Zeus, but he's kind of an asshole, it is what it is. If they would have had Gore show up to the Omnipotent City
Yeah.
and be the one and killed Zeus,
Yeah.
just to show everybody, like, I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, I
Mhm.
just killed Zeus, the fucking badass motherfucker here, and then I'm coming for everybody else, I'm going to fucking eternity and all this shit's happening. And instead of, like, Hercules being, like, this kind of, like, awkward, like, anti-hero that's gonna be going after Thor, how cool would it have been if Thor and Hercules fucking team up to go after Gore, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like
absolutely.
huge missed opportunity.
And
Like, if they
I think you can agree here. The smartest thing that they did in this whole fucking movie was keeping Eternity silent and not trying to do anything with the character other than he's just fucking there for the moment.
yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
they did a badass job with
Well,
how he looked.
Yeah.
what kind of
And
that
just
girl
a
has some special powers from that though now. Like, I mean, she's gonna be
Yeah.
badass. You saw
mhm.
it in her eyes,
Well,
right?
so you know, Adam, that particular character that we finally saw in Thor, that Eternity or whatever, that's the character that was rumored, or at least it was the rumor that I was fucking all in for. In Endgame, people had thought he was going to show up after Tony snapped,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and he was going to be like, "Some shit's happening. This is going down. Blah 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 blah. Here's the fucking setup for the next fucking set of films." You know.
Yeah.
But I thought letting like leaving him in enough just to like be like, all right, someone's gonna have to really go in and deal with that guy and talk about him, but not me. I'm glad that Takai didn't bother with that. Like,
Yeah. Which it may dovetail into Guardian in
well,
some way.
Well, the whole concept of Thor being able to bless weapons now, there being more than one Thor. Thor is a more of a moniker than someone's name now.
Yeah.
I feel like is that's something that leans heavy into Secret Wars.
Yes.
Especially if we get the version where it's Battle World, where he has to have an army of there's an army of Thors, kind of like the Night's Watch, keeping the Marvel zombies in their territories.
Yeah.
And I I mean, I feel like that's probably not going to be the direction that they take, but that is something that I was like, oh, okay. Like, because I
Yeah.
know Secret Wars is on its way for sure, and I just thought it was interesting that they did do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, for it to be kind of a good, goofy, fun Marvel movie, like, that's fine. It is what it is, but and I like that it kind of lived in its own self-contained bubble, because it is part of that weird middle phase, like, that's kinda been going on here lately with, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and all them. So I do like that, and I do like how it it shows you that, like, all the Marvel movies or Marvel properties in general don't have to be, like, call up everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, it
Hmm.
could still be self-contained, but, like, Gore could have been the character, the villain that they built up over at least 2, if not 3 film,
That did seem a little
because
rushed.
yeah, because, like, the idea of gore, the aesthetic, all of that stuff was so fucking cool, man, and, like, if
Yeah.
they would've really got Christian Bale on board to do it, it's like, "Okay, we're gonna do another trilogy," and, like, if they would've handed the hammer over, figuratively and physically over to Jane and let Gore be her villain while something's going on with Chris Hemsworth Thor,
Yeah.
and, like, let her try to deal with that. Let her try to be part of, like, New Asgard and all this stuff and see the development of this new people through the lens of a foreigner like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they
Yeah.
could have done a lot with that. They could have used Gore to build him up, and Hemsworth Thor could have been going through the galaxies and going through finding the different gods, but seeing a fucking trail of blood everywhere he goes. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it all culminate to where, like, Thor gets fucked up, Lady Thor's gotta show up and try to fucking help Thor out, and that ends up with her dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have made something
Well,
really special out of this.
oh, for sure. And one could argue that we're in a phase of Marvel now where not every villain has to die. You can
Exactly.
you can whoop his ass, send him packing, and just have it understood that he got stopped, but he's still fucking out there.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna take that and condense it down into now like a new trilogy of Thor films, they could have totally had Thor, Lady Thor, and Gore in the first film, but not even allude to Lady Thor being Jane.
Yeah.
It's just a mystery the whole time, and the whole time, Thor is trying to get Mjolnir back from her. We could have got the fight that we did not get that I thought
Yeah.
we would, but we didn't, because
Yeah.
there's an all-out brawl between Thor and Lady Thor in the comic books, like, when it first goes on,
Yeah.
and
Missed opportunity.
she's taking him to school. But, like, you have that second film, shit's still piling up, body counts happening. Like, they thwart him, they worked together long enough to thwart him in the first film, but they're still like, kind of at each other. And then have, like, in a second film, almost Empire Strikes Back, have the big gut wrench where we find out Lady Thor is Jane. She's Thor because Mjolnir's chosen her, and she's dying of cancer, so she has to stay Thor. Or this is, that way.
Yeah.
By the time the death happens in the third film, there's more weight to the idea of whenever he's fighting them, and she shows up, and he has that look of fuck, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like he knew what was about to happen. And
Yeah.
that was a good scene, but because it was so crammed together, because it was so, you know, condensed down into just a 2-hour story that we got, as much as it had an effect, it could have been even more devastating if we could have had like so much more build up and character development between those two.
Exactly. Because and think of it this way, like, Kang becomes a god, right?
Which means Kang deals with eternity at some point.
Exactly. So Kang becomes a god. What would have made it even better if, like, Gore's fucking everybody up, and a version of Kang shows up, and that is how the Necro Sword is fucking gotten rid of. He shows up and destroys the sword and kills and, like, doesn't kill Gore, but you know what I mean? Like, he shows up
Oh,
to stop that from fucking happening.
that would have been no, no, you're onto something there, man. It would have been badass if Thor and Lady Thor were whooping the fuck out of Gore, and then the whole thing with Lady Thor dying, we have it play out just like we did in this one.
Yeah,
You have Thor talk Gore out of getting eternity to destroy all the gods. In that moment, when you see Christian Bale change, Kang steps out and just severs his fucking head, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah,
completely just like retching Thor because for once Thor would have gotten a win that didn't consist of him having to kill or
yes,
beaten to like it would have been a win of all wins for him.
yeah,
And to have that just stripped away from him by Kang would have been a great setup, but at the same time, it would have been a very good, like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know, man,
But
and if
I have a Kang theory,
a Carrie?
a Kiri. I've
What you
already
got?
I've kind of spilled it out to Adam a little bit, but maybe this is just me coping. But no, just hear me out. Hear me out. It could just be a massive cope, but whatever. All right. So for the past year, and most of our MCU properties, what's been the one fucking thing that is dead center of it all?
Like,
Kids.
well, yeah. I didn't know how far you were going with that. It's like the
And
like,
Hawkeye, you've got Lady Hawk, you've got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That whole movie was about him stopping a child sacrifice.
yeah, yeah,
You've got Scarlet Witch dealing with her pursuit of children. All right. At the end of this movie, you get Thor having a little bit of a guardianship thing going on.
yeah,
Now, on one hand, the common argument is get this kid shit out of my fucking stuff. Like
Yeah,
people are like,
release the
God damn
flight
it.
logs.
yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah. But,
I think
but on the other hand, that's a good one, man. But on the other hand, I would like to think that it is part of Marvel's 10-year fucking storytelling setup that they're doing. And it's showing the audience that all of these people are starting to, like, they understand the value of innocence and a child and, not letting them get sucked into the world that they're having to fight with. Because
Yeah,
even with the stories that we don't deal necessarily with a kid coming in to be the sidekick or whatever, any new hero that's been introduced since Endgame, they have that speech where it's your life's different now. It's not going to be the same. You're a hero. Welcome to the party.
yeah,
Anyway, we're getting all of it because I feel like it's going to build up to set a moral quandary for the Avengers of are they going to have to kill Kang as a child to really
yes,
stop him? Is
yeah,
that how they're going to nip him in the bud? Because they're going to have because you think about it, the next Avengers movie is called the Kang Dynasty.
yeah,
Dynasty implies lineage,
yeah,
implies that like you get where I'm going,
yeah, absolutely,
and
yeah,
and I feel like maybe it's just something they're blatantly putting out there and showing and having in the forefront so that later on when the Avengers have to deal with a really grim dark theme of all right, do we kill like it's the concept of if you could go back in time and kill Hitler when he was a kid, would you do it?
yeah,
but it could be a scenario where they're fighting Kang and they're killing him. Like they're taking him out and he just keeps coming back because the whole he's like the doctor at this point.
Yeah.
He's everywhere at once.
Yeah.
And so they find a way to where it's like, yeah, you can kill him, but you're gonna have to kill him before any of that shit ever happens. And either his parents or him is a child in the present timeline. And so they're having to deal with Kang, but the whole time they have another child with them that's like, yeah, he's gonna be Kang. Like, but
Yeah.
we can't kill him. But
Yeah.
but are there heroes that are gonna be like, man,
Okay, watch out, move out of the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's gonna set up for Thor to be like, nah, I killed Thanos, and I know he's not a child, but killing someone like that type of death doesn't, he's not gonna be down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To which I feel like that also could build up too. Like I feel like it could go hand in hand with the possible Hulk idea that I threw out, last week about him being able to get back to being the brutal, savage Hulk. Because because we haven't had a true. I know we had Infinity War, but we haven't had a true Empire Strikes Back moment in the MCU yet,
Yeah.
and I feel like something that would reduce the buildup and something that could crumble a lot of the main characters' development and bring them back almost would be like an interesting way to soft reboot the Avengers, the core team, not
Yeah.
just the new ones, not just the big handoff film or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know. I felt like this because I got to thinking about it. I was like, why are the heroes constantly having to save a child at this point in the movies now?
Yeah.
And and I don't know. I just feel like it's a setup to deal with more pressing issues in the Kang film when it does happen.
Yeah. Well, and then that could lead into, if they went this route, that could lead into Iron Lad and how that comes to be in some way. Because they could hit that nail on the head a little bit sooner if they decided to go that route with it. You know what I mean?
And I mean, and Doctor Strange too. I feel like that movie showed us that Marvel's cool with going there,
Yeah.
and like I don't know the fact that a Disney Marvel Studios film, like with Thor with this movie, Zeus says orgy like how
Yeah.
many fucking times?
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said,
Like
"Have some bread, have some wine. Everything gonna be okay, baby."
think think about how think about how many parents on the ride home from
Had to
watching this
explain
movie with
orgy.
their kid had to tell them kids or lie to
What's an
those
orgy?
kids about what an orgy's about,
Right, it's just an adult party.
It's a gathering of people for one common
Yeah, they
goal.
have a grape, they have a wine,
It was a
Yeah.
really shitty band in the early
they burp
2000s.
the worm.
They burp the word. No, man, like I like what Taika Waititi does. I enjoy his direction. I enjoy his his filter, right? I enjoy the world, like watching worlds develop through his eyes and him bringing that to us. That's why I'm super excited for his version of the Star Wars movies because, like, whatever he's going to do is going to be very interesting, very fun, and it's going to, like, it's going to be faithful to source material without being over. It's not going to like do too much fan service. It's going to do enough. I just feel like this movie exists in such a weird place that if they had more of what they were gonna do going forward fleshed out, that he could probably have created something there, because this really does feel like Rogue One. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have you have the Hemsworth trilogy, you have this movie, which feels like Rogue One. It's the in-between film, like saying what happens to Jane. Thor goes through his transformation to get back and fit Thor. He's going to have the kid going forward. And then we're probably going to get another trilogy of films that's going to deal with him and the kid and the things that are happening with that. And this just feels like that weird in between film where they could have really taken that and just launched in a huge way forward and made something really interesting and really special. I'm not saying that like what they're going to be doing going forward isn't going to be interesting or special. I just think that like the idea of having Lady Jane or Lady Thor as Jane going forward is such a great idea, especially if you split it up to where she's dealing with Earth shit going on, Hemsworth is dealing with more cosmic god shit going on, and their stories culminate at some point to where they have to work together to make that happen, like you were talking about. It's like they really could have like made something super crazy good with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I didn't
I
hate it.
mean, and I mean, although I guess we would call it the Midgard version of Jane Foster absolutely died. We watched her die on camera.
Yeah,
She didn't technically
Yeah,
die
she went
because
to
she did
Valhalla,
go to
dude.
She
Yeah.
went to Valhalla. Holla. I'm sorry, my accent cuts through with that. But anyway, um, so there's always the possibility, and besides, we all know the age old rule: the only person that stays dead in Marvel is Uncle Ben,
yeah,
and so there's room, and I saw an interesting theory about this movie, and when you watch it, it's not really a theory; it's more full on accuracy. This movie's narrated by Korg.
Yeah.
yeah,
And one thing they make a point to show you throughout the movie is that Korg doesn't have a very good memory, if
yeah,
one
Yeah.
at all. He's a fucking rock,
What did he call her?
yeah,
Jane what?
Fonda.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, Jane Foster. Or like he would say
Something
something
like
else
that.
and he would,
Yeah.
yeah, he would like he's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
yeah,
So by using him as an unreliable narrator and telling this story, that leaves the
Yeah.
room for retconning. Things didn't
yeah,
happen.
Because
This,
it was
this
just
little,
over the top, like
yeah.
ridiculous
yeah,
at times.
And
absolutely.
if that's the case, if they go that route with it, then they're a fucking genius.
That would be genius.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fucking genius,
Well,
you
well,
know?
for I mean, for instance, think about how I mean, that would explain why that fight at the beginning was so over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
Because he
you know
loved,
what I
he's
mean?
just building Thor up the whole time. Like,
Yeah, like he's just
he
like, yeah,
loved
he's
him.
amazing. Yeah, like that's in theory a
Like when
backstory
he
or a
started digging
flashback.
for him,
Yeah,
like in the
yeah,
movie, he's like, I died, and then it was my face. Like that's crazy.
yeah,
They just picked
right,
your face up and tied it on the back of some chick. He's like, I got you 6. You know?
yeah,
he's like, I ended up having a little baby myself with some
Yeah.
guy named Dwayne, which I was like, that was a funny ass joke, and I feel like
yeah,
that went over a lot of people's head, dude.
that
He
was
said,
fucking
"There's the god of the
great.
cogs, Ninu Nani from Ninu or something like that." Like what? Gotta give a
But
shout out,
yeah,
man, to the hammer shards.
Yeah,
That was
that was
cool
pretty
how that
cool.
hammer would fucking
oh,
come back
all
together.
the way Jane does that final power up and destroys the last of the Necro Sword was
Yeah,
fucking visually amazing.
yeah.
Did you notice they fixed the kid? You went and
Oh,
saw it in the
yeah,
theater.
yeah,
Yeah, when you see them
yeah.
side by side, it's night and day. Like,
It to me, it looked better in the theater version
yeah,
because it was darker and it was a little
kind of
bit
had a
because it
yellow filter over
I
well,
it.
really and I don't know
yeah,
why, but I really thought it was cool that he made a point that he was talking to Hemdall's kid.
yeah, Axel.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was I
Hmm.
was like, that's I don't know, like that's considering what the movie ended up being about, that was cool that he kinda had this weird ability to kinda like go find them and talk to them and was like, "Hey, hold on, we're on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking give us a minute."
yeah. Here's what's weird, though. Let me ask y'all this. So it makes a point to show that Jane goes to Valhalla, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so and then Gore's whole thing is like there's nothing, whenever and we talked about that the other night. It's like, okay, the responsibility of the god is to create an afterlife for the people that worship them, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, moving like, what if Valhalla exists? Like, you can get to it. It's just gonna be hard as fuck to get to, like,
Yeah.
by not dying. Does that make sense? Like, what if, like, Omnipotent City and
Oh,
Valhalla is kind of the same idea,
Yeah.
and you can get to Valhalla without dying
Well,
because it's
that's how I looked at it. I looked at Valhalla as although it's a place that people went when they've perished in the name of a god, I guess. It's just another realm like all the other
Yeah.
realms that have been established in the Marvel universe. Like you have, the spirit realm where people go talk to their ancestors. You have in Black Panther, you have quantum realm for Ant-Man and how we got our time heist. And
yeah,
there's like they've been very good at fleshing out now that there are other planes of existence
yeah,
that like mortal death is literally just another step in going somewhere else.
right. So, I mean, how crazy would it be if that happens?
Well, I mean, just think of the concept of, you have like if they were ever to go and considering that they've leaped from some of the older Thor stuff all the way up to more modern Thor comics now, I
Yeah,
don't think it's a I don't think it's a big stretch that we have a moment where Thor will fight the Black Winter in a film. And
yeah,
that was one of the most recent ones that he did. And that fight was fucking nuts. Thor has to fight this thing blindfolded in space, and he gets to it by journeying with Galactus, and in the process finds out he was betrayed by Galactus, strips him of the power cosmic that he uses to eat worlds, and then proceeds to decapitate his head and turn it into a fucking throne room.
I mean,
I mean,
get
Gang gang.
get
I
fucked,
mean,
you know?
pull it up and make it,
Yeah, right.
Um, I feel like with all the analysis that we can do for this Marvel stuff, because that's one thing Marvel has gotten good at doing is making its fandom speculate and letting that speculate be its own brand of marketing.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
If we take all that stuff away, we also have to look at the idea that Taika Waititi's not a big sequel guy. Like, I don't think I really know of many sequels that he's done.
Yeah,
Like, he's a one and done kind of person with his filmmaking. And, you know, he's not James Gunn, sadly, because this looked like he saw what worked in Ragnarok and
yeah,
thought he could dial that up to 11, but he got too much feedback.
mhm,
Whereas, the Guardians of the Galaxy films, like, they're
They
lightning
got
in
a
a
noise
bottle.
gate, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Ain't no
absolutely.
feedback, baby, you know?
And at the end of the day, he tried to do Ragnarok again, and it just like that's because of the two, I could sit and pull Ragnarok up and sit through all of it, like, right now.
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
I don't find myself feeling like I could revisit Love and Thunder over and over again.
Yeah.
Not
I
that I
mean,
won't, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I
it,
and
it
and I feel the same way, man. I feel like if you're gonna watch Thor, you have to watch it. Like, if you're gonna watch the Thor series, you have to watch it. If you're gonna watch the full Marvel Cinematic Experience, you have to watch it. You have to watch the Dark World. You have to throw them all in there. But if I'm gonna pull one of them up, it's Ragnarok for me too,
I mean,
for sure.
Ragnarok is it, right. It's for me, it's a tie between Ragnarok and the very first one, because
Yeah,
the first one, for all of its issues, was still a decent film.
yeah,
Bro, for a while, it was like was it Thor good?
yeah,
Mm.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
And I mean, and who knows? Maybe the next movie that comes along, whether Watiti's with it or not, you know, maybe there is a chance that we can get back to a little bit more serious Thor while still balancing this really weird take that the directors set these two films with, because it isn't here's the like because I understand the complaint from the comic fandom, and it's the idea that when you're reading Thor, it is over the top, it is ridiculous, but it's a character that takes himself very seriously.
yeah,
And we have a complete tonal shift in that with the way Chris Hemsworth Thor has become, and a lot in the same ways as to how they, you know, tone down the Hulk a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just hope it's just a case where maybe Marvel eventually gets like, it gets everyone comfortable, like, okay, we're in this family friendly mode, and then the rug gets
Yeah.
yanked right out from under us.
Well, the way
Yeah.
the movie is, dude, he's like, it cuts to him. She dies. He looks at the little girl. Then he's making fucking pancakes for her, wearing an apron.
Yeah.
And we're like, what was it?
And Mjolnir has a face and like
And he's like,
tassels
it
and
looks better. I like it that way. You
yeah,
know, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Stormbreaker is like a bitter girlfriend that's worried, like a psycho one that's worried
Yeah.
about the ex.
yeah,
I like when he goes and tickles the one's chin when he's talking to it.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So
so
what are you
funny.
doing here?
Or
Yeah,
when he's trying to see if he could still summon the hammer
Yeah.
from Jane, and Stormbreaker just creeps into the
Like, what
shot
the
like,
fuck,
"What you
dude?
doing? What's going on here?"
nothing.
Like, you could replace that with a chick that's walking up with a, "I got you a drink, honey.
Well,
Why are
remember
you looking at her?"
when they're on the boat and he's talking about the lightning rod? This
Yeah,
is a good weapon. This is a. He's like, it's for you. It's a good one. Like,
yeah,
yes,
That bolt was pretty badass,
it
though.
was
yeah,
that whole scene, dude.
Um, I was gonna say, yeah, let's,
Killed it.
despite the movie's flaws, let's talk about the final battle, like, post November Rain and everything. When they're on that planet, I love how the only light or the only color you see is that which light's touching.
yeah. That's fucking
That
that.
was cool.
They did that so well, dude.
Like, that whole sequence was like the
Yeah,
last half of the film, man, like, from the final battle, the moments with eternity, all that whole little 15-20 minute moment was fucking awesome.
yeah,
Like, I had a blast with that.
yeah,
And to say that just like, I don't understand how some people just left the theater with just, ugh, sour taste in my mouth. That was horrible. I don't necessarily I feel like that was an exaggeration.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's the type of people that watch the film are doing that,
Stupid
you know?
movie.
It was
yeah,
so stupid.
I
Thor
know
is
way too much
ruined.
source material.
Thor is so
Could have been
ruined.
better.
My ass is Thor from watching Thor.
yeah,
Like, I mean, the butt hurt, it was pretty fucking loud, but at the same time, like, I get it, it wasn't perfect,
It was a
but
silly goose time, dude.
yeah, it
It
was
was almost like
still,
a standalone. Like, you don't have to
yeah,
watch this.
well,
I
and
mean, you might in the future to be like, "What's a little girl doing here?" But
you don't have to. I don't know. Thor, Ragnarok, and Love and Thunder are absolutely in that category of, if you're not shutting your mind off to just enjoy and have a decent time,
yeah,
then you're fucking up. First off,
yeah,
and maybe that's the case with Love and Thunder, is that it's been so long since we have like a main staple character, because even though we had Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the past year, those are still relatively new to the storyline that we're all experiencing with the Marvel movies. And
yeah,
and it's been a really long time since we've had an actual original character or original Avenger, a solo film with that.
yeah,
And having that, you have the speculation idea of, all right, well, what seeds are going to be planted in this movie,
yeah, yeah,
And I think this movie tried to just hammer it in, not to go, don't try to look at it like that.
yeah,
To the point where maybe the cringy moments were to rattle your brain to be like, hey, quit trying to, we're not building up to shit, man. Just watch it in the here and now.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man. Like, I don't even care that nothing was built up for anything else. I'm just aggravated because, like,
they
man, I would
could
have
have
loved
done
to have
it.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Lady Thor, like, be the Avenger on
Well,
Earth that's dealing with Earth shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I love the design. I love her, like, her weird, quirky, like, attitude and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
like the direction that they were taking the character where she was like, she's a genius. She's a Thor,
Yeah.
but she's kind of a fuck up. Like she stumbles around her words. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, like she's smarter than Thor, but she's not as battle hardened as Thor.
Yeah, exactly. And it would have been cool to see that happen where like you see her kind of become more and more and then like see the bad things that happen and the problems with being a god and all that stuff to reinforce that idea of like the like Thor's a god, Gore's killing gods, gods are supposed to be good for the most part. Like they really could have reinforced a lot of that
Well,
identity by like showing her.
and it could have also I don't necessarily I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just adding to what you're going with. It would have been nice to have seen her, build up to a more serious level,
Yeah.
to where, like the idea of seeing the god and everything, or seeing what that's like. Uh, sorry, I just got a message. Um, where was I? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I got interrupted on this end.
No, you're good, man. It's no worry.
It'll come back eventually, I guess.
Yeah. But no, like you were saying, it's good to see like this kind of be its own standalone thing. It's just like, you know, now with the way that Marvel has presented everything to us, it's like, okay, this is supposed to feed into this, is supposed to feed into this, and it's supposed to culminate into this at some point. And they really don't do a ton except for on the TV series. But in the movies, they really haven't done a lot of like building individual story arcs for characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did that really strong starting out Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and all that stuff, and then that eventually built into the entire, Infinity Stone saga or Infinity War saga, whatever you wanna call it, and it's nice to see that it would've been nice if they would've took a different. I'm glad it was its own standalone thing, but it would have also been nice if it could have built into what would be coming more so for Thor, which I guess we kinda got that with the little girl, but also, like, I don't know, man. I would have loved to have seen them keep fucking Lady Thor around.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
They got
really
a
would have
habit of
enjoyed that.
killing people off. Like, why'd you
Yeah, I
get rid of
Well,
mean,
them?
well, well, at the same time, we can also take this with a grain of salt, but I feel like it's also something that Marvel's playing with at the very end because what we've noticed now with our post credit stuff is at the very end of any individual solo film, it'll always say character will return.
yeah,
And at the end of this one, it says Thor will return. Does
yeah,
it
so
clarify which Thor?
yeah, right. That's true. So,
So there, I mean, there is that.
yeah.
But all in all, though, man, for all of its uh for all of its inconsistencies, man, for all of its tonal flip flopping and stuff, um, I will say that for 2 hours I sat and was like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
Yeah, right, yeah,
And if a movie can do that, man, it's if it can keep me in if it can keep me invested,
yeah,
whether it has a payoff or not, I mean, it's good, I guess.
yeah.
And there's a part of me that wants to give it a half because I feel like that goes with a lot of with the way that I like to rate movies from technical stuff, story, and everything. But another thing too for me is that the nostalgia factor, even though there was too much GNR, it made me think of my family. I have several members of my family that are big Guns N' Roses fans. So as I'm watching it, man, it's flooding my brain with memories.
Yeah,
And you can't put a price on that, and you can't put a value on that, man,
yeah.
at all. Um, so I mean, I give it a full star, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it a full star as well. Like I said, I mean, there's a couple of things that they could have done differently with it. I think that Gore was a fantastic villain. It would have been nice to see him built up even more, because I think that idea of someone killing the gods and like because you don't really
and that
think about it.
and that could be a very long play too,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Like, you gotta thwart him, but, he's gonna keep because in any direction, he could find someone that's being worshipped and destroy them.
Exactly, and then they really could have hammered that idea because if they weren't going with Kang, they could have built Gore up into this whole this whole next arc's villain because, like, people on Earth worship the Avengers. Does that technically make them a what defines a
Oh, that
person as
would've
a god? You see what I'm saying?
that would've been incredible too, like, he shows up on Earth,
Yeah,
and he's like, "These Avengers," like, or, have it to where he feels like or just have it to where we don't see Gore for a long time, like, several fucking movies.
yeah,
And then out of nowhere, it's like you just have a moment where, a move. Just imagine, if you will, you see the Marvel thing play out on the front. You don't hear any music. There's no fanfare, and then the movie just starts, and it's just Gore slaying the last of the gods.
yeah,
We know he hasn't killed Thor, but they set up to where it's like he's done his job. He went Thanos and fucking saw his mission through,
yeah,
and he's just kinda chilling, like, "I've gotten rid of the gods, all is done." And you just have this brief moment where you start hearing, you hear him, he's sitting at a planet or some shit, and you hear him talking about the events of Earth and Endgame, and he overhears it. He goes to Earth, he sees the Avengers, he's like, "So my work isn't finished."
yeah, exactly, right.
Bam! Fucking
Yeah,
Avengers title card, you know?
yeah. I mean, they really could have built that up to something ridiculous. And who knows? I mean, the Necro Sword, I mean, they destroyed it, but did they? You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Well well, if they keep it true to the source material and what that weapon is, it's gonna tie into Spider-Man of all characters
yeah, yeah,
because the Necro Sword is wielded by a character called Null, which is the god of the symbiotes, and
yeah,
subsequently, it might be made of the same type of, um, material that the symbiotes are made of,
yeah,
and that's like Venom. It's a direct link to fucking Venom.
yeah. So it's we'll see what happens with it, man. But I'm
So,
giving it a full star
Well,
well,
though.
I don't know anything about the source material. So I'm just watching this movie. I'm just having a silly goose time. But new shit's come to light, man. Thor and Lady Thor supposed to fight, and they didn't even let them fight in the movie. Like
Yeah,
that should have
right.
happened.
Yeah,
Now I want to see that. But the movie looked great. I liked
yeah.
how the suits looked, the red and the blues,
I love how he kept changing it
colorful. Did
too.
you notice? Yeah, it was like every time you see him, the funny ones when they hop on the ship after the Zeus thing, and he
Yeah.
runs up there and grabs it. Just it'll grow back.
Yeah,
Did
it's
y'all
fine.
notice how his eyes kept changing colors like blue?
Yeah,
In the
mhm.
close-up shots, his eyes would be like real, like just like someone took a blue marker. And
yeah,
then when he was further back or something, they wouldn't look that way. And I was like, why'd they CGI his eyes? Like
yeah,
weird. But nah, I'm just kidding. I'll still give it a full star. I liked it.
yeah. It was like I said, it was good, man. It was just we haven't had a movie like this in a while. And like we could pick apart if we really sit down and wanted to, we could pick apart Spider-Man and fucking Doctor Strange and everything. It's just one of those situations where it could have been maybe it was because of Christian Bale and uh what's her name that played Jane?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very interested to hear an interview eventually with how Christian Bale approached Gore,
It was
because
Nosferatu,
Yeah,
right?
his
Nosferatu. And what was that music?
Um
It was something,
was it
some band.
was it The Clash?
I
No.
don't remember.
What was the name of that band?
It was a strange. It was like what?
Let's see. Gore inspiration. Let's see. Influences behind gore was let's see, there's Nosferatu slight attitude. He said there's obviously sort of a Nosferatu slight attitude. Taika and I wanted to do a whole dance, which we didn't get to do, but we had all this sort of Kate Bush stuff that we worked at. But I think we just realized he was never going to be allowed to put in that final. It was the Aphex twins
That's it,
or
yeah.
Apex.
That music
Yeah.
video, yeah.
Yeah. Come to daddy. Ooh.
Weird,
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. What a pull. I would have loved to have heard or watched this movie where he put that Kate Bush song in there.
Yeah, dude, I guess
Yeah.
that's why he was pissed.
Yeah, right.
I mean, once they dropped it, it's like, yeah, you can't really do it, man, because they just used it in
But
a big bad way, like it's in every episode.
yeah,
Uh,
right. It's Mac's theme
what are
song,
the
you know?
odds?
But yeah. But She-Hulk though.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we're finally getting away from like this um it's getting into more of a procedural type
yeah,
deal. Instead of it being like, okay, we're focusing because I thought that the whole series was going to focus on that one case, and when they
yeah,
wrapped that up in that second episode or third episode, whatever it was, it's cool to see. And then like he opens a portal to hell,
yeah,
basically, you know. And his name was um, Donnie Blaze. Was that his
yeah.
name? So and Johnny Blaze is fucking Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah.
So and then
Well,
those
now I
demon
remember
things.
the images of that guy. I think he's gonna play that.
I mean,
I think that's him. That makes sense.
that could be, you know. But, I like the direction and Wong coming back and
Yeah,
then that fucking it's spelled with fucking 2 N's and a Y, but not
yeah,
where you think
yeah.
it
How funny was she? It felt
She
like the
ju
episode got back on track.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
That's the way I
right.
felt. It was like, yeah, we're back on
Yeah,
track now.
yeah. And, like, the fight sequence that they had didn't feel forced. Like, in the previous episode, those guys trying to jump her and here's my thing, like, she just banged a dude that's a
Yeah.
doctor. And they were trying to get a blood sample from her.
Mhm.
So, what's the next best thing from a blood sample? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vaginal sample.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
WAP.
for real, though. Yeah. For real, dude. Like, for real. And then when he came out and he was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "It's me,"
Yeah. And he's
And
like,
he's like, I gotta go."
dude, she threw his ass on that thing and was like, let's go. Like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
my God.
go time, baby. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that she signs up as a regular person, signs up for a dating site, and she's not getting hit up by dudes.
Yeah, because she's not ugly. I don't
No, dude,
understand.
she is freaking beautiful. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and she's She-Hulk? Shit.
Yeah. I need you to help me
Wow.
move the car, baby, you know?
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Can you help me carry these groceries?
You'd never have to
My
carry
God.
groceries again.
Exactly. Could you imagine vacuuming under the couch?
Yeah.
She just picked the whole couch up. But, I do it feels like we're getting back on track, and we've only got, like, what, 4 episodes left? 3 episodes, something like that? It's
Something
like
like that.
6
Where the
was it
fuck
6
is
or 9?
I
Yeah.
think it's 8
Dot,
or
dot,
9,
dot,
something like
dot.
that. Where yeah, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, where's he at?
He better not show up like in the last episode, like,
Yeah, he just kind of
he's the
appears.
cameo, he's like,
Yeah. I'm
"Hi, I'm
back.
Daredevil." Like,
Yeah. And then he fucks off, yeah.
fuck outta here.
It makes me really wonder what they're gonna do with that because it's 2 different locations of the country, all that kinda stuff, like but, superhero maybe he is gonna open a superhero law firm in New York.
Nah, dude, he's just gonna Skype her in one of the
Yeah.
episodes.
But it's gonna be Charlie Cox playing himself. I
Yeah.
swear I'm not
Yeah.
in
Ow, ow. Ah, ah,
Spider-Man.
ah, ah, ah.
But no, dude, I've been enjoying it. I like what they're doing with it, and the comedy's been good, man.
Yeah.
Like, legit good, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm interested to see where they take it from there, you know? Super interested. We got a little bit of movie news here. If you wanna fucking touch on this for
Yeah.
just a
Holy shit. This
teeny.
dude's already at it again.
Yeah, so Pearl came out a couple of
Yeah,
weeks
it's out now.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ty West, of course, wrote and directed Pearl and X, right? And apparently, Mia Goth is gonna return in Maxine, a new film set after the events of Pearl and X, and a first look teaser has been released. So, following the premiere of Pearl at the Toronto International Film Festival, the third installment of the X horror franchise has officially been announced. A24 has greenlit Maxine, a sequel that follows the events of X, with Mia Goth reprising one of her two roles in that film. Ty West returns to write and direct after doing the same with X and Pearl. A first look teaser for Maxine has also been unveiled, and you can take a look at that below, courtesy of A24 on YouTube. And Maxine, who was played by Goth, after the events of X, as the sole survivor who continues her journey towards fame, setting out to make it as an actress in 1980s Los Angeles. The film is produced by A24, Jacob Jofke, and Ty West. Goth executive produces. Additional producers include Kevin Turin and Harrison Kreis. It's not yet clear when the movie will be released. The second
Let's
installment of
go. You know?
yeah, right. The second installment of the franchise, the prequel Pearl, had its world premiere at the Venice Film Festival to universal acclaim, followed by its North American premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on Monday. It will have a wide release in theaters on Friday, September the 16th. The film is set decades before X, with Goth returning as the future psycho biddy Pearl. Here's a starry-eyed farm girl with a short fuse and a deadly ambition. It has been incredible to be a part of something that starts as an idea that goes from script to screen. Um, of turning the series into a trilogy, Falk added Falk. Mia Goth returns with a deep, nuanced performance as Pearl in a prequel set 60 years before X. Ty looks forward to the opportunity to complete this world with a cinematic trilogy and continue to deliver something original and unique. The
Dude.
original film X. Huh?
Well, what's awesome about that is how I hate to cut you off there.
No,
I didn't
you're
mean to
good.
do that. But it started with X. He goes out there to
Yeah,
make this little movie he's got here. And while he's
yeah,
there, he's like, fuck it. Let's do the prequel.
yeah.
And then that's fucking happening. He's like, "Fuck it, let's do the fucking sequel." You know, like we went back
Yeah,
in time to see what happens with her. Might as well move forward and see.
yeah. What
You
happens
know,
with her after the fact? Yeah,
this dude's banged. He's banged out a fucking
a
uh,
trilogy.
in fucking like 2 years.
Yeah,
God damn.
it's great. And like none of this would have happened if the pandemic wouldn't have happened. To be
Andy.
honest, yeah, because like they went to what was it, Australia
Yeah,
or wherever it was, New Zealand, and they filmed X. And then while they were in lockdown, he wrote the sequel and he's like, well, we're already here. We already have the locations. Let's go ahead and film that. And
yeah,
like, okay, cool. So like it's crazy. And
yeah,
then X was great. Like it was a great slasher flick, you
yeah,
know? And I'm interested to see how Pearl is. And then also because it sounds like Maxine is going to be more of like a psychological,
yeah.
type deal
Well, she's
instead of
gonna
a
be
sl
fucked up.
Oh,
I
yeah, for
mean,
sure, yeah. So I'm interested to see how his trilogy turns out, but that's awesome that A24 is basically like, "Yeah, man, do what you gotta do, like,
yeah,
enjoy it." And it sounds like he might be taking some of his own money that he's made off of these and reinvesting it into finishing,
yeah.
because he's producing it, so why not,
Well, it'll help him, man. He go ahead and get the movies out there. Company comes in, yeah, we'll promote it.
Yeah,
By the time he moves on to like start taking deals,
yeah, he's
here's
got
my
a trilogy.
portfolio, dude. I mean,
Yeah, trilogy under my belt, dude. So, good for him, man.
yeah.
That's awesome. I'm happy for So Danny Radcliffe names Elijah Wood as the obvious actor to play him in a parody biopic. As someone who's now played another celebrity in a parody biopic, Weird Al Nope, Weird the Al Yankovic story, Daniel Radcliffe would be amused to see his own life story given the same treatment. In fact, Radcliffe even has the perfect idea in mind already if such a movie were to ever be made. The subject came up in a recent chat with Variety in promotion of Radcliffe's new film, which screened at the Toronto International Film Festival, and Radcliffe said it would have to be Elijah Wood. I would say if somebody is going to do a parody of my life, obviously, it has to be Elijah Wood. We would trade off. Radcliffe going a bit further to suggest that he could also play Wood adds an interesting angle to the potential parody film that, quite frankly, a lot of people would probably really want to see. Saying that it's the obvious choice to go this way is due to the actors' physical similarities, which has often had fans confusing one for the other. Of course, something else they have in common is that they are both stars of major fantasy movie franchises, with Radcliffe from Harry Potter and Wood from Lord of the Rings. I was on a red carpet in Japan and a photo of you was thrust at me, Radcliffe told Wood in a joint interview. My first instinct was to say, "Oh, I'm not, so I can't," but I thought the language barrier would be too much. So the quickest way to deal with it was just to write, "I'm not Elijah Wood, signed Daniel Radcliffe," and then hope somebody translated that for him later. Wood shared a story of his own by responding, I have on multiple occasions been applauded for my bravery on stage in Equus. Once I was in an elevator in Vancouver and it was just me and this other person, and I could feel them looking at me intensely. Just before the doors opened into the lobby, he finally got up, the courage pointed at me and said, Harry Potter. I said no, and I walked away. Now, this is how dreams are made.
Yeah.
Okay. Because someone could read this article
Yes.
like me
That's a movie
and write a movie.
where they
Exactly,
play each
dude.
other.
Yes,
And they're
exactly.
connected, like, they're both,
Yes.
grew up child actors
Mhm.
in the business, get
Yeah,
confused for one
exactly.
another, somehow meet up. I don't know.
Well, think about it. The films, like Radcliffe's doing Elijah Wood's biopic, Elijah Wood's doing Radcliffe's biopic. They're filming at the same place at the
Yeah,
same time, and hijinks ensues. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And you do it like a movie being made about movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
yeah,
take that idea and run with it. That would be fucking hilarious because 'cause they're
right.
both fantastic comedic actors when they
Mhm.
wanna be, you know? Um, I mean, Elijah Wood can be a little creepy, but that's
Yeah,
beside the point. You know what I mean?
um,
Dad
he put it
Daddy's
out
home.
there. He's
Yeah.
like,
Now it lives in the
yeah.
ether, dude, in the ether.
Dude, all I'm gonna say is if you mistake one of those guys for the other, you can't call yourself a fan.
No, dude, no.
They don't look anything alike.
I mean, they've got the same build,
That's
but
it.
that's about
There's a
it,
lot of
yeah.
short people in Hollywood.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
have beards. Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, man. But that's
Elijah Wood looks more like Eminem in that photo
he
than he
does,
does
right?
Harry
He's fixing to
Potter.
start fucking freestyling
He's
on
dude,
it.
he's lost himself. Look at him.
Yeah, right. The music, the moment you want it. Better never let it go, dude. Next up here, Kevin Smith still hopes to make Mallrats 2, hopes Clerks 3 success will help. Could Mallrats be the next Kevin Smith movie to get a sequel? As it stands, we are days away from the theatrical release of Clerks 3, the new film that reunites the cast of the filmmaker's first movie. It marks the latest installment of the cinematic universe dubbed the View Askew that was launched with the first Clerks in 1994. Many longtime fans of Smith have also a fond appreciation for Mallrats, the second feature film released by the filmmaker that hit theaters in '95. The movie brought back Smith and Jason Mewes' Jay and Silent Bob. Why would they reverse that? Silent Bob and Jay
Mm,
as Jay and Silent Bob, and also marked the second of the duo's many films. The movie also stars Shannon Doherty, Jeremy London, Jason Lee, and Claire Trelawney, also featuring names like Affleck, Ethan Suplee, and Michael Rooker. The film was never given a direct sequel, though some of its characters have appeared elsewhere in the Viewers universe. Smith has teased a Mallrats sequel happening at different points, and in 2020, the project seemed to be making some good traction, according to Smith. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly, Smith said he was planning to get the sequel made, dubbing the film Twilight of the Mallrats, with all the main stars of the original cast returning. Looks like we're heading towards it now in 2021, which is very exciting for us, Smith said at the time, revealing some ideas he had for the plot. It takes place 25 years after the original and features the entire cast and a new cast of characters as well. It's about Brody and his daughter and the death of the mall. The Brody that we met in Mallrats has only been proven right in life. The world came around to this way the world came around to his way of thinking. So, based on that, Brody never really had to grow up. And now, at this juncture in time, we face the moment when he might actually have to become an adult. Despite Smith's optimism, Twilight of the Mallrats has yet to be greenlit and officially put into production. In the new interview with THR, Smith provides an update on the sequel, stating that he still hopes to get it made. At this point, he's thinking that the potential success of Clerks 3 could lead to Twilight of the Mallrats getting the funding it needs to be made as well. From the interview, he said, "We're hoping to God that Clerks 3 is the, I don't know, whatever that is, if you will, that loosens up the Mallrats' bowels and suddenly that shit starts flowing. I know the good looks at I know the good folks at Lionsgate and our producers, Liz and Jordan, have been having conversations to try to make that happen. It's a Universal project, so Universal owns Mallrats, even though they tend to forget that they do. Whenever I bring it up, I'm like, I want to make Mallrats, and they're always like, go ahead. And I'm like, "Yeah, but you guys own it." And they're like, "We do?" Since the movie is neither fast nor furious, it's not really a movie that they pay much attention to, but Clerks 3 might make things a little bit easier. I still hold out hope, but I don't think you've seen the last of Brody Bruce. So, I mean,
Kaopectate.
kaopectate?
Yeah, for the heartburn.
Kaopectate.
Like it's like
Oh,
Pepto Bismol.
okay. Kaopectate or Pepto-Bismol, if you will?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's heartburn. But
Yeah, right,
I'm
yeah.
sure he'll get it made. I mean, we never thought we'd see another Clerks movie. Like,
Yeah, I
I mean,
know. My thing too is like they're releasing Clerks kinda limitedly in theaters for a week.
kinda.
Yeah,
Oops. You
yeah,
know, hour and
yeah,
a
right,
half away.
yeah,
Dude, I looked at several theaters. I'm like, there's one 2 hours. There's one hour
yeah,
and a half. It's like, come on, dude.
yeah.
You got one real
It's
close.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go
Lucky.
try to go watch it. Yeah,
I'm out. I don't
but
know.
it's one of those things where, like, are they releasing this in theaters so that they could try to get some award nominations? And if so, then that's fine, you know what I mean? He's also doing his road show, which is gonna be coming close to us, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to go because of work and other obligations, so that kinda fucks that up, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, man, like, I think that it's weird that he owns the rights to the characters,
Yeah.
but he doesn't own the rights to Mallrats,
Mhm.
because Brody was in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, you
Yeah.
know? Like, so it's just kind of a weird situation, and my thing is like, why don't he just try to buy the rights from Universal?
Yeah. I mean,
How
surely,
much could
well, surely they would want another one made that would drive people to buy the other one or go, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, exactly,
somebody
yeah.
out there that's never seen, they're like, Mallrats.
Yeah, what's
Ben
this?
Affleck's in it?
Yeah,
You know?
Benafleck?
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, I didn't know
Oh, there's
Benafleck
another
was in
one?
this."
Who
Yeah,
the fuck is Kevin Smith? There's a lot of people that don't know who the fuck Kevin Smith is.
yeah,
I mean, which is crazy to me, but
it is crazy, yeah. But, we'll see, like, I'm hoping that he's able to do it, and I see that, like, he might I wonder if he got his fill whenever he wrote Benafleck and into the reboot with Chase and Amy ties, you
yeah,
know what I
once they
mean?
like finally made up and
Yeah, yeah. 'cause it would be nice if they could go back and show that story actually play because, like, there's a story there. How did they end? Because they really didn't end on great terms, like, not good enough to have a co-parenting child with, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it
Yeah.
would be interesting to see that play out if they wanted to revisit that, but, like, my thing is just let them do it, man.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I like how Smith is like, you remember he kept trying to like push it, and make these other movies, and might get this big hit, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, dude, you got your universe.
Yeah.
Play with that.
Yeah,
Like all this
exactly.
stuff already made it.
Yeah.
You have a huge following. Like, why not make another Jay and Bob? Like, and then he did. Like, of course you make
Yeah.
Mallrats again. Of course you. What else you got?
Yeah.
Sequels. Chasing Amy sequel.
Yeah. Let's get Moose Jaws made, you know?
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. So next up here, Bruce Campbell teases his return in a Dark Man Legacy sequel. We were just talking about this a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know? So over 3 decades later, Bruce Campbell wants to return to the world of Darkman. Directed and co-written by Raimi, Darkman was released in theaters in 1990. The film stars Liam Neeson in the lead role as a scientist who transforms into the titular vigilante after surviving a brutal attack and undergoing an experimental treatment for his injury. The movie spawned a pair of direct to video sequels in 95 and 96, though neither seems to be as held in as high regard by fans as the original. Fans of Darkman may also remember that Campbell's brief appearance in the original movie as an unmasked Darkman in the final moment. However, he did not reprise the role for the previous sequel. A Darkman Legacy sequel could possibly remedy this situation by only acknowledging the original Darkman and disregarding those other movies. It's a strategy we've seen find success with other franchises, such as the Halloween trilogy. On Twitter, Campbell retweeted a news story about Raimi meeting with Universal to discuss plans for a legacy sequel for Darkman. Campbell teases his return in the film if it ends up materializing. Using the hashtag I'm Darkman, Campbell said in response to the news, cool, checking availability now. It was reported in May that Sam Raimi was looking to get a new Darkman film off of the ground. This followed Liam Neeson also stating that he was open to returning to the franchise as well for a new Darkman movie. Raimi had personally told the Warp or the Wrap that discussions on a new installment were happening, but but that he had gotten so swamped with work on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness that the movie fell by the wayside. With that film done and released, perhaps Raimi can put some more focus back into the new Darkman. Universal's talking about a Darkman sequel, he said. There's a producer attached. I haven't heard the story yet or gone into it. I've been so busy with Doctor Strange, but I think it's cool. Director Josh Rubin has also been campaigning for the chance to direct a new Darkman movie. As a fan of the original, his hope was also to get Neeson back on board alongside Francis McDormand. He probably won't get the chance if Raimi intends to direct the Legacy sequel himself, but in any case, there seems to be a lot of interest from many in seeing this movie happen. Now, what I think is like, I think Raimi is going to do the same thing with Darkman that he did with Evil Dead,
Uh
right?
huh.
Because it makes sense if he's like, there's another director that wants to come on board. I want to produce, I also want to co-write or write. And I'm gonna basically make the launch pad here, be involved in it, and then whatever vision this director sees going past this is gonna kind of be its own thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I would be okay with that because I mean everybody that's talked about Evil Dead Rise has been like, dude, it's fucking
I
amazing. It's
can't wait
Evil
to
Dead
see
as
that shit, man.
yeah, exactly. It's gonna be Evil Dead as fuck, this, that, and the other. So it makes sense for him to do something like that and possibly tack on a new director onto that property so that he doesn't have to
Yeah.
do it and he can just like basically Kevin Feige it where it needs
Yeah.
to go. Darkman, it's time for Darkman to make a return
Oh yeah.
in a big way. So I'm for this 100%. And if they bring Campbell back, dude,
Come on.
you know what I'm saying?
That'll be
That
one of
would
the
be
things Raimi's like, I'll do it, but you got to bring back Bruce. I mean,
yeah, it's like, bet, you know?
No
Hold my
negotiations. Like,
beer. Mhm.
yeah, dude, we did a Dark Man episode 221 all the way back.
Wow, that's been like 50 something episodes. It doesn't seem like it's been that
No,
long, but that's awesome though.
little shameful.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'd like to see that materialize. It's just funny where we talked about it in that episode, like they need to do a legacy sequel.
Yeah,
And then now it might actually be happening, you know?
I
So
mean, petition.
fuck it, dude. Yeah. The Fuck
Fuck
Sony
Sony
petition didn't get off the
and
ground. Yeah.
make
Bring
Dark
Dark
Man
Man back.
2.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, these guys are really like
Yeah.
dedicated to this Dark Man shit, ain't they? It's like, fuck yeah, dude. You don't even know.
It's so funny though. You put it up. It's like fuck Sony petition, sign this, and they're like, "We're taking this down." It's
Yeah,
like,
you
nah, let the
can't.
people speak, man. Freedom of
Yeah,
speech.
exactly. Right. Come on. And last up here, I wanted to just kind of go through with some of the D23 announcements, right? Because D23 happened over the weekend and there was a ton of things that were shown during D23, which of course we haven't got any trailers or anything, but they did show trailers for Ant-Man, I believe. They showed the lineup for Thunderbolts, things like that. So we'll hit on the high notes here as we go through it. So for Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the crowd say new footage from the threequel starring Paul Rudd, Catherine Newton, um, Evangeline Lilly, and Jonathan Majors. It opens February 13th. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The crowd thrilled. The footage from the MCU sequel starring Angela Bassett as Raymonda. It opens November the 11th in theaters. Captain America: New World Order. Shira Haas and Tim Blake Nelson have joined the cast of the sequel starring Anthony Mackie. It arrives in theaters May 3rd. So Tim Blake Nelson played the master. No, he played the leader in the Hulk movie that had Edward Norton in it.
Oh,
So he may be coming back as the leader, which is very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sure who Shira Haas is, but I'd have to do a little deep digging into that. So for Fantastic Four, Kevin Feige confirmed that Matt Shackman will be directing the reboot pick that hits theaters November the 8th of 2024. So Matt Shackman, I believe, was the director for WandaVision.
Okay. Nobody fucks with the Shack Man.
Yeah,
You
right,
know?
exactly. Yeah. So several castings were announced for Thunderbolts for the Jake Schreier directed film will close out phase 5 of the MCU on July the 26th of 2024. They include David Harbour,
Ooh.
Julia Louis Dreyfus, Wyatt Russell, Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Hannah John Kamen, and Olga Kurlenko. So we've got David Harbour will be the Red Guardian. I think that was his name, right?
Yeah.
And then Wyatt Russell is coming in with them Kurt Russell vibes with U.S. Agent
What's cool, man,
Florence.
is he's still dressed. When you saw the image, he's wearing the Captain America.
Yeah, yeah, the whole
Like,
U.S. Agent
ooh.
garb. Yeah, of course. Eiffel Tower. What was no Empire State Building
Yeah.
will be coming back. She'll be coming back. Sebastian Stan. One of these chicks is from the Ant-Man movie. She played Ghost. The one that oh, you got me talking about
Oh,
politics. You
yeah.
know that she was like the kind of anti-hero or whatever the fuck you want to call it in that film. And then okay, Olga Kulenko was in she played
Black Widow.
Taskmaster. Yeah, she played Taskmaster.
Yeah.
So
That's the
they're
Hannah
bringing
Caveman. That's
yeah. So so that's happening Thunderbolts, which I figured was going to happen, but it's interesting because like I was expecting Zemo to be part of this. I was expecting Abomination to be part of this, which they could at some point, show up. So we'll see
yeah.
about that. Indiana Jones 5, a trailer was shown to the crowd for the fifth installment of the lucrative 41-year-old franchise. Harrison Ford addressed the room and also revealed that this will be his last time playing America's favorite archaeologist. I'm done, he said. I will not fall down for you again.
Third time saying that. Go
He's
ahead.
fed up. Yeah,
Sure.
right. Willow, a new trailer for the reimagining of the 1988 fantasy classic, was shown, and Christian Slater was revealed as a cast member. He joins an ensemble that includes Warwick Davis, Joanne Whalley, Ruby Cruz, Aaron Kellerman, Ellie Bamber, Dempsey Burke, Amar Shadja Patel, and Tony Revolori. So
Ravioli.
Willow, Revolori. Avatar: The Way of the Water. The crowd was treated to a load of footage from James Cameron's long in the works sequel to one of the highest grossing films of all time. For Disney live action, we've got Mufasa, The Lion King. The prequel's title was announced and a sneak peek was shown in the room. It is set to be released in 2024. And then The Little Mermaid, the new teaser trailer unveiled, release date is summer of 2023. Um,
Yeah,
all
that's
right,
on down.
so for television, Marvel, Ironheart here. So Shakira Barrera joins the cast of the Disney Plus series starring Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams. Premiere date is to be announced. Secret Invasion full trailer for the Disney Plus series starring Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury that premieres in 2023. Armor Wars, Don Cheadle reprises his role as James Rhodes, in a standalone series that will show the character in a whole new light. Loki, Ki Hu Kwan joins the season 2 cast of Disney Plus series starring Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson, and Sophie Di Martino. Production is underway, but the premiere date is to be announced. Echo cast members, uh, Alakwa Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, Devry Jacobs, Graham Greene, Cody Lightning. What a name. And Chasick Spencer hosted a special look at the upcoming series that also stars Tantu Cardinal and Zahn McClarnon. Daredevil Born Again, Kevin Feige, and co-star Vincent D'Onofrio discussed the upcoming Disney Plus series. We're eager to chat about the new Disney Plus series starring Charlie Cox. Production will begin in 2023. And Werewolf by Night.
We have
The
this
Halloween
trailer, by the way.
we do?
Yeah.
Okay. The Halloween themed program starring Gail Garcia Bernal and Laura Donnelly, Marvel Studios' first TV special, was revealed along with a trailer and an October the 7th premiere date on Disney Plus. So for Lucasfilm Andor, the final trailer for the Disney Plus series starring Diego Luna was released. The Mandalorian, a trailer for season 3 was released. Star Wars The Bad Batch season 2 animated series about an elite experimental clones of the Bad Batch was pushed from September the 28th to January the 4th. Tales of the Jedi, the short form animated anthology series set in Star Wars universe, revealed the first trailer and an October the 26th premiere date. Wow, that's awesome. Um,
I think that's kinda it.
yeah, new unscripted holiday specials and Pentatonics. Really? Okay. Disney Channel, Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I don't know what that is. Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff coming, and it's cool that they did the A23 or the D23 stuff, and they released some of this. I just wish that they would have like premiered it there, wait a week or wait a couple of days, and then release the footage. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
come on.
Like, give it to us,
You're
baby.
killing me. Dude, that, Quan that's joining, Loki,
Yeah,
that's short round.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is that is fantastic news because that dude is killing it.
Yeah.
You know, God, he was so good in fucking Everything Everywhere All at
Yeah,
Once,
dude.
man. I wanna
What
watch
a
that
great
movie
fucking
again.
movie, man.
Yeah, right? For real, dude.
Movie make you feel some kinda way. Like,
Yeah,
everybody we
so
know too that's watched it, even people you think wouldn't like it, are like,
yeah,
"Man,
right?
that shit was awesome."
I need to go over to my grandmother's and watch it with her and see what she
Ooh,
thinks about it. I bet she would enjoy it.
especially if she hadn't
She
seen it yet.
Yeah, she loves, like, kung fu movies and,
Yeah.
like, time travel stuff and she's into all that stuff, so she'd be down for it, you know?
That's just a mind fuck of a movie, like,
Yeah. Yeah, same with Tenet, I think she'd like that too.
that
But yeah.
Werewolf by Night, man, that trailer, I had clicked on it to see. I like the way it looks. You'll see when you watch it, it just looks a certain way, but
Right. Yeah, it's crazy because Werewolf by Night was the comic that Moon Knight first appeared in.
okay.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
yeah, Werewolf by Night is kinda like an anti-hero, kinda like Moon Knight is, you know, because he's a fucking werewolf, you know?
Yeah.
So and, that could lead into Blade and all that other shit. So, like, there's a lot of cool shit that's gonna be going on there,
Hell yeah.
but hell yeah, dude.
Just in
Uh,
time.
yeah, just in time. Trev, did you hear about the Thunderbolts cast?
No.
So the Thunderbolts cast is gonna be, Red Guardian.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's gonna be, Winter Soldier, Taskmaster, um, Empire State Building, uh, god damn it, Black Widow's sister.
So that's the
Uh,
Thunderbolts?
yeah, it's gonna be the chick that was, like, kinda the bad guy in Ant-Man, the o
Mhm.
Ghost, um,
Drop it at
and
General.
okay,
The image.
yeah, I can't remember everybody. We
This
just
is what
talked
they
about
put
it.
up.
But
Yeah.
this is official?
Yes, this is official, yeah,
E3, yeah.
yeah,
Dude, hell yeah.
yeah. So it's cool that they're bringing fucking dude back to play Red Guardian, like, that's gonna be so goddamn funny, dude.
I
So, yeah.
agree.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for that, and they've got a director for Fantastic Four, it's gonna be the dude that directed the, WandaVision.
Ooh.
So that's gonna be interesting, and, yeah, just a lot of goodness, dude. Just a lot of goodness. I think that, like, once we get over this weird in between kind of phase thing that's going on,
Yeah.
I think that they're really gonna start ramping shit up, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm curious as to how they're gonna tie all this together.
Like Thunderbolts or
Mhm.
everything.
Just the Thunderbolts, because when you think about where these characters are all kinda coming from, it's gonna be weird. I don't know. I guess it's because at the end of the day with the Thunderbolts, it looks like they one of the key things that they all have in common is that they either dealt with Black Widow or Captain America.
Mhm. Well, I think, Elaine being involved in it and her kinda, like, putting herself out there in, Falcon Winter Soldier, like, she's gonna be the Nick Fury of this, and I think that her and Nick Fury is not gonna see eye to eye because all these people have sins that they need to rectify, right?
Mhm.
So, and I think that that's gonna be like her deal. She's gonna be like, "Okay, you did bad, but let's use your talents for good." And I think that they in my opinion, they did a good job at, like, basic casting, or
Yeah,
I guess you could say, because, like, I was expecting to see Zemo and, Abomination and a couple other people, like, maybe Red Hulk, but it makes sense why they're going with this group of people because none of them have, like, crazily outlandish powers except for, Ghost, and they more or less have a very similar skill set where they can, like, get in, infiltrate something, and get out very militaristic, and I
and they
think
would all probably, if in the right mindset, these people wouldn't probably they would be okay with doing a mission that revolves, I don't know, killing a kid.
yeah, exactly, right, so yeah, it makes sense
Because
why they went with this casting, you know?
because think about that, and this adds more to that Kang theory, and the reason I say that is because looking ahead, the events of Kang and Secret Wars, or somewhere amidst all of that, this could be the groundwork for Civil War II.
Oh yeah, that would be fucking nutty, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about Thunderbolts because I like all of those
Yeah.
characters. And
Mhm.
I hate what they did with Taskmaster in Black Widow, but I thought that the idea that they went with that character in that was pretty good. So I'm interested to see because, like, dude, that's a cool fucking villain. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it makes you wonder if Taskmaster Taskmaster and the Winter Soldier are gonna have bonding ground because they're both the way that they've
Programmed. Yeah,
well, yeah, and the way that because the way they treated Taskmaster in this in this iteration of the character, it could be anybody. He's just uploaded with the Taskmaster program that allows him to have all that information.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool, man. And that's a revolving door of cash that they could put on that. So
Yeah.
I'm interested, you know? But yeah, that's the most interesting thing in my opinion that came out of the D23 stuff was that. So, but we're fixing to gear up for trailers, Trav.
We got some pretty good trailers, man.
Yeah,
Not
they're
gonna
Oh,
lie,
almost
yeah?
too good.
especially this first one.
Aqua Teen Forever,
Oh.
Plantasm,
Oh, shit.
are they coming back?
The boys are back in town.
I'm excited.
I love fucking Aqua Teen, dude. Is Carl in it? Please tell me Carl's back. Yo, Fry Man.
Hey, Fry Man! Y'all ready?
God, that the episode where Carl sells his house to Danzig.
Yeah, dude.
That shit is fucking hilarious, man.
When fucking Zach
What
Wild shows up, it's like, what the fuck is happening here? And Geddy Lee in the bass jet. It's like, dude, who the
well
fuck was high as fuck when they wrote
well,
this?
like, dude, remember when they did, the Aqua Teen, movie for theaters?
Yeah.
Uh, I just love the fact that when the whole movie plays, all that, and it's hilarious, then the credits roll, and it's fucking Unearthed
Yeah,
playing
right?
this. Yeah.
It's like,
Li
what the fuck?
Linoleum Knop is done by Mastodon.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Remind me to
oh,
fucking find that Aqua Teen series and purchase
Flex
it.
it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna purchase it.
oh, dude, I for years, man, I had the run of it, and that was on loop on my TV for a long time, was Aqua Teen.
Um, it's so I'm ready though.
Yeah, let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Too wicked. Yes.
We'll run the jewels. Not anymore.
Dude, God, I forgot how much I miss this show.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
I will
I mean,
probably cold buy it, dude.
Yeah,
we can get podlocked on that one. It's a
that's
Um,
movie.
funny.
Dude,
Yeah.
I even hope they go so far, dude, as to give us a good old fashioned like Doctor Weird opening where
Yeah.
behold taco pie.
He said, "Behold, my new wife." He goes, that's a giant spider." Ah!
Man, any day's a good day when you get more Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
Babylon. I've heard good stuff about this.
This damn trailer just kind of came out of nowhere. Like,
Well, like
Yeah.
I've heard this is obviously going to be one of the award movies just by the cast that's in
yeah.
it.
Watch how they
Yeah.
do this at the beginning here with the logo. They're doing Coke. Check this
Oh,
out.
shit. Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Well, Paramount.
Look at all that Coke. Exactly what doing Coke's like.
Yeah. Was that some fucking YouTube
That was a
titties?
YouTube titty, dude. Crazy movie about filmmaking.
The fuck?
You just coke the fuck out, dude.
Another titty. Some more. Yeah. Wow.
That looks fucking
It
great,
looks like it
dude.
could be a take on like, not take, but it's like it almost like it's going to be America's version of Brazil.
Mm.
Well, minus the last ending part of that movie.
Is it gonna be easier to understand than that movie?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be people going to their happy place or anything.
Yeah, right.
Happy place. Dude, there were 3 sets of tits in that trailer.
I mean, I'm
And
for
it
it,
has
dude.
1.5. I'm just saying, if you had some tits in one of your videos, dude, they'd shut it
Yeah.
down.
I mean,
my,
what if
my,
I'm shirtless?
Rules for thee,
I
dude.
mean, well, I mean, dude, the ticker keeps ticking, dude.
Yeah, the tit ticker. We're up to 3 sets of tits
Um,
to this trailer. The tit ticker's still going.
it
We got the
rounds and
new
multiples of 2.
I'm excited for this Knives Out shit, dude.
Glass onion.
Yeah.
all right, let's see
Okay.
what they're up to this time. 3,
Let's do
2,
it.
1, play.
Yachts. John McAfee movie looks dope.
A puzzle. You expected a puzzle.
Wow.
Dude, he could just keep making these.
Yeah, right.
Keep them coming.
I
I'm
mean,
ready to.
I'm
that
thinking franchise here.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Keep them
no.
coming.
Yeah, for sure. The Fablemans.
Yeah, this has got
It's got Dano and Spielberg.
got Dano in it. Yeah.
Oh.
And Seth Rogen.
He's like, "Don't
Well, this is
toy with
so.
me,
This is
Steven."
so. This is Dano's first role since the Batman, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Believe so.
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Bass drop.
Oh,
Ambland.
another movie about movies.
How meta.
The trailer we just watched was about the one before
I
that.
wish I was an old young filmmaker again.
I think this is a remake or something. I think there's something. There's some source material. Wait, is that supposed to be Baby Steven?
It might be.
I think it is.
So slightly autobiographical.
Yeah, this is based on him. Crazy, you direct your own biopic.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if he produced it. I don't know if he directed. Oh, it's loud, ain't it?
Yeah.
We did direct it. He's like, I'll direct my biopic.
Yeah. Get the fuck
Back
out.
off, peasants.
Yeah.
Back off, peasants.
I kind of want to check
Oh,
it.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Dano? Rogan? Let's do it.
Willow.
Willow. Pulpit.
Ball bat.
You
Ball
fucking
pit.
muppet. When you read all that thing, though, see, I thought this was just going to be some kind of like sequel or whatever. And then they were like a reimagining of Willow. Like, well, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But Christian's coming back, dude.
Let's check it out. Oh, it's a series.
Yeah, let's peep this.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, but
Mm,
Only thing missing is Lady Hawk.
Yeah,
Spent all
right.
that money.
You remind me of your mother. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I mean, this looks silly goose as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
System works, douchebag.
God damn.
I mean, dude, that was loud as fuck, but I mean, it was like a silly goose time, dude.
Yeah.
I remember watching Willow when I was a kid, man. It's up there with like the Dark Crystal and any of these little, you know, they're clearly throwing as much money as they can at whatever thing's going to stick to be Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I'm down for sword and sorcery.
Yeah. Always, you know? Always.
And now we're going to have what looks like what Sylvester Stallone holding a stack of cash.
Well, remember we had a teaser for this a while back.
Yeah. Tulsa King. He's like a mob boss.
Looks pretty good.
Let's fucking do it, dude.
Pretty lazy. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
You'll be boxing like I was in my prime.
You know. The fuck's in Tulsa? Are you from the government? You remind me of your mother.
You remind me of your family.
That's what he should have said. This is my kind of show, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's got Guilfoyle in it, dude. I'm
Yeah.
down.
Well, they said Yellowstone, Sopranos, like he fits the role too. Like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna grow up and
My
be
boy
like,
gave me.
I'm the
She's like,
king of
"What is a cop
Tulsa.
doing here? What are you?" And he's like, "You remind me of your mother."
He's like, I just checked off your card. You think I'm a CPA?
Are you from the government?
Yeah, I was like, boom, top acted and acted. Oh man,
Andor.
This is about to
Disney,
drop like
Disney,
now,
diggity
right? I
Disney.
mean,
Yeah.
21st,
Hell yeah,
the
dude.
3-episode premiere.
When She-Hulk ends, Andor begins.
Andor. Y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Let's see.
It must flow. Why are we doing the Skywalker theme over a show that is they're so quick to get away from Skywalker, but I'm never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
Ooh.
You rebel scum.
You remind me of your mother.
Yeah. What about me? Everything. That dude's got a voice on him.
Yeah.
It looks good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Star Wars is fuck. Let's go.
Man,
You're gonna like it.
it's about a character I don't give two fucks about
Yeah,
though.
but it's more Star Wars. Like, we're spreading our wings, man. We're getting away from the, that we
I
get to that
love
new.
my trailer that popped or my video that popped up is how much have you ever lost on a Quintas?
That don't just put it in your pocket. It becomes normal change like the others.
Stand to lose everything. Well, how's that?
We lived in Temple, Texas.
You need to know what I stand to
Wow.
lose.
Why is that? All right. Werewolf by Night. Okay.
This is like we talked about this a little bit. This is coming out in October. This is like I don't know if it's going to be a movie length but it's Werewolf by Night, dude.
Let's do
Wait
it,
till y'all see
man.
the way they've done this trailer. Like, it's crazy looking. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I was like, am I watching a Marvel?
Ooh.
Yeah. Now you can see when I was like, is this real? Wow.
That's pretty fucking cool though.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
Oh,
super interested.
well, once we find out how long it is, that can be our 4th October
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So far, we already have 3.
Hell yeah,
Let's
dude.
We might be able to work that
let's
in. Down
let's
to watch it.
do it.
Yeah.
I hope it's like really shot that way too.
I know, right?
Like,
It looked gory too. Like they were cutting
yeah,
arms off and shit. Like hell yeah, dude.
let's
I'm
go Disney.
DTW. Yeah. Disney dollars.
Well, it looks tonally different from all of Marvel's other stuff,
Yeah,
and that's desperately needed right now.
yeah. We got fucking Black Adam. No
Act
relation.
Bladum,
Yeah. Rock bottom.
Act
I'm
Bladum Cop, it's the place to go.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. This dropped a few days ago. Scorpion King. Damn.
Oh shit. Okay.
Sheesh.
Looks really good,
I
man.
mean,
I think they just showed us the opening and that mid-film fight where the Justice Society shows up, and that's it. Like, I don't think they showed us anything from the second half of the movie there, you know?
mhm.
Well,
But damn.
I got vibes of like he's gonna show up at the beginning. He's when they do the whole open fire, and he's like, "Your magic's weak." I feel like that's gonna be within the first 20 minutes of the movie.
It might open it,
And
you
I
know?
feel yeah, and I feel like he's not gonna be that badass again the rest of the movie though. Like he's gonna do cool shit. Look at like the speed and the brutality at which he took those guards out. Like no questions or fucks given, you know?
Yeah,
Like every hero has that moment where they get to be so OP that it's like, all right, they're not gonna be like this.
yeah,
But it gives me vibes of like the Justice Society is gonna clearly approach the angle, or at least Doctor Fate is gonna approach it as let's try to talk some sense into him. He's 5,000 years old. Shit has fucking changed.
yeah,
He's gonna be all fucking shell shocked from what got him encased in the first place. And then a greater threat is going to arise, and he's going to be like, God damn it. And it's going to be the idea where like Black Adam is going to be the unknown factor in what's really going to go down in the larger scheme of the movie.
yeah, right.
Is he going to help him? Is he not? Or is it going to be that thing where he kind of helps him, but like at the end he's like motherfucker, almost like in X-Men First Class
Yeah,
where Magneto helps them throughout the film, but then when he gets that final chance with dude, he puts the coin through his fucking head.
Yeah.
And it's like he does the thing the rest of them are not wanting to do. You know what I mean? He'll cross the line.
Yeah. Cross the line.
Thus, hopefully,
Mhm.
setting up Shazam v Black Adam.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. We got a fucking Mandalorian trailer?
Mandalorian.
Let's do it. Let's
See what the
do
boys are
it.
up to.
Boys
Oh
are in
man.
town.
2, 1, play. Fist bump.
The child.
Go away. You know?
Plan B.
Throw all the money at it, Filoni. Well, fuck you.
No, he just goes, oh, you know, he would make those little
Yeah.
grunts and
So we are on fucking Mandalore.
look at this.
Jumping in the war zone, baby. Dude, did you guys notice something?
Sheesh.
Mm. First off, where we dropping Mando? Secondly, somebody get this show a back brace because it's carrying this fucking franchise.
Yeah, right.
And it's a dude, it's a
No,
Mandalorian and a baby Yoda that's carrying
Yeah.
the franchise. Let
Yeah.
that sink in.
did, so did you guys notice in that shot with the fireworks? It parallels the shot in Boba Fett where we see Mandalore getting destroyed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. But it looks like the whole season's gonna take place on that planet. That's fucking dope, man.
Yeah. Gotta find his way, dude.
Mm, mm. True
Like
is
I
true.
do. Like I have to when I get lost.
Speaking of Lost, where the fuck has Nick Fury been?
Yeah, for real.
So I want y'all to notice something in this trailer that I noticed when I watched it. Whenever he sits down at the table with her and she's like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And he's like, "This is different." It's like they changed the line, so you
Oh,
can't hear
okay.
what he. Listen, you'll hear it. It's like that's not what
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah.
So they're trying to throw, you know,
Yeah.
like you'll see. It's right here at the beginning when he sits down and takes a drink.
Oh man. Now, before we watch this, I have high expectations for this because this is a very good crossover story that happens in the books. And I don't know. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's done differently because I know it's not going to be the same. Endgame made sure that Secret Invasion will be different how they do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do this.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Notice the voiceover. What was that? What? This
What
is
was that?
different. Yeah. What'd they cover up?
Oh, oh, I know what they are. Oh,
All right. Hell yeah, dude.
so
Hell yeah.
it looks like they've optioned to give Iron Man's story to Nick Fury.
Mhm.
Because in Secret Invasion, Iron Man is a main character and he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna call it right now. Everyone's a scroll, obviously. That's what the story's about. The scrolls have infiltrated Earth. Nick Fury is mind fucked because he doesn't know if he is human or scroll.
Okay.
Because throughout the Secret Invasion book, that's something going on with Iron Man as he keeps being contacted by one of the scrolls or whatever that comes up to him and they're like, you're one of our assets on the ground. You're the one gathering intel. Like you can like there's this whole sequence where it's like you can change back to your form. And Iron Man's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they do like a big twist where it's like, yeah, you're fucking one of us. And he's 100% convinced that he's not, and it's just this identity crisis all throughout the story.
Right.
And it looks like they're switching it up and letting Fury kind of take that role as well.
Right.
But this looks good. I love the approach they took.
Yeah.
But hell
All
yeah.
right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right.
I was trying to figure out how long that werewolf. Oh, it's an hour.
Okay.
Werewolf by Night. We could just do it in October, right?
Well, all right. So when does Andor come out? Is it September the
I
21st?
think so. Yeah.
So it's going to overlap with because that's next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, never mind. I was going to say like we could put the first 3 episodes of that with Werewolf by Night, but nah, be all right. We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
powwow. We'll powwow behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
How do y'all feel about 3,000 Years of Longing next week?
I'm down.
Travis, Idris Elba Genie movie?
Sure.
Let's get up on
Um,
that.
I want to do an honorable mention. Um, The Patient, the show that we saw the trailer for with Gleason and
Damn it, Jesse.
Steve Carell.
Mm-hmm.
It is a banger.
Really?
Yes,
It's on
30-minute
Hulu, right?
episodes. Yes, absolutely worth throwing on the pile and worth the bump up the fucking viewing list.
Hell yeah.
Highly recommend y'all watch it. And I think it's something also that it's something worth watching with others.
Yeah.
It's not too heady that people get bored with it. It's interesting. The 30-minute run time really packs a punch because each episode it kind of builds up to one little, you get one extra bit of information. Like so
Yeah.
far, there hasn't been a chuffa episode, and it's been really good, man.
Right. Hell yeah.
It's Steve Carell acting his ass off, chained to a fucking bed, man.
That sounds great.
Like, and like the whole like well, what makes it fucking good, man, is it's like you don't see Carell do these type of roles.
Yeah.
Like I know we've seen Foxcatcher, and I know there's a few here and there moments where he plays a serious type, but this
It's
is
pretty
so
rare.
different. It's so different for him, and it's really good, man. Like I want to see him in more roles, not necessarily the same stories like this, but I want to see him take on more serious roles like this because the guy's nailing it right now. And Domhnall Gleeson's doing a really good job at playing the type of character he's playing. Because the whole premise of the show is that a serial killer has kidnapped his psychiatrist and forcing him to live in his basement while he's like having his compulsions and like it's really odd, man. Like it's
Yeah.
like at this point, where I'm at in it, Gleason's character has another guy locked up in like the bathroom of that bottom room that Carell's in, and he'll go to work and Carell will be there, and then the guy's trying to talk to him. They'll talk for a few minutes, and like there's some other stuff that's going on in the house as well, and that stuff. But like it'll be an instance where he's sitting there and then the phone calls and it rings and it's Gleason and he's like, I fucking want to kill somebody right now. I will fucking just like I can't, I gotta do it. And of course Carell's like, talking him out of it and shit, but it sounds stupid the way I'm explaining it.
Not at all.
But when you watch it though, you're very much you will get pulled in, man.
Yeah.
So
Right.
absolutely
The
like
trailer looked good.
it's a win, man. And I want to say there's maybe 3, maybe 4 episodes out right now.
I'll give her a peep.
But yeah, absolutely worth your while.
Hell yeah.
What he tells you. The check's in the mail.